Hello, Prime vs Prime back here today with another review. Today we're going to be taking a look at the Transformers The Last Knight Turbo Changer one-step Dragonstorm. As always, we'll take a quick look at the packaging. As you can see on the front of the box, we've got a very nice image of Dragonstorm there. Really cool looking character design. Dragonstorm Turbo Changer. We've got the robot mode of Dragonstorm, Try Me feature. We've got this very nice packaging, which is like got Dragonstorm burning a hole through the box. On the side of the packaging, we've got some cross sales. We can see that it is compatible with other Cyberfire figures such as Optimus Prime, Hound, Barricade, and Berserker. On the back of the box, we've got another picture of the Dragon mode as well as the robot mode. 20 phrases and sounds. Dragonstorm, as a colossal force threatens the universe, an even greater force arises, the mighty Dragonstorm. If only that was the case in the movie. And then we've got another cross sales on the back of the box. Turning it around, we've got a really cool image of Dragonstorm there. Would have loved it if he would have actually looked like this in the movie. Would have been really cool, as opposed to what we just got in the film. Now, this is a simplified Transformer. It does convert in, I would say, about 2 steps really, especially when you have to pull off the towel in order to transform it into its weapon. It's very similar to the one-step turbo changer thingy that was released in Age of Extinction. That was a Grimlock figure. It's very similar. If you have that, then you do know what to expect from this. It has some fairly nice details on it. The heads are definitely very well picked out. And I do actually like how the wings do actually have holes in them and gaps as they did in the film. Something which the actual leader class version doesn't have. The leader class is just one solid piece. I will do a comparison with that in a short bit. Another massive thing that I do like about this compared to the leader class is the colouring. I really like this red and black look all throughout. It's definitely better than what the leader class did with this kind of like orange and silver effect going along through it. Got some very cool details. We've got loads of gaps throughout the Dragon mode as well as some in the robot mode. Obviously this is just where Hasbro have hollowed them out, but in this case it has actually worked to the figure's benefit, as this is what he actually appeared like in the film. Now, if I had one criticism with this Dragon mode, it would be this ugly handle. Now, I know that the gimmick is that it is a mega turbo changer one-step thing, and it is something that the Grimlock figure had as well. However, I just think that there could have been a better way to do it than just sticking a massive handle on the back of the Dragon. It really does detract from the overall look. It does just have this big massive wedge coming out of its back. Maybe if they would have disguised it as maybe like a gun turret, I know it's not accurate, but it would have been better than just sticking a massive handle on the back in order to accompany the gimmick. As promised, I am comparing it to the leader class version. Now, as you can see, the leader class version is a lot more detailed. It has a lot more details all the way throughout. And overall, I would say that it is more accurate in a Dragon mode. However, you can't deny that the colours on the Turbo Changer one don't look better than the colours that we have here. We've got all these ugly grey colours throughout. The orange heads are just really bizarre. I don't know why they're orange and why they're not the same colour as the rest of the body. The legs are a bluish colour and the back is a different colour to the wings. Just a really bad mashup of colours, whereas this is all continuously red and black, which does definitely give it a lot better of a look. Now, in terms of Scowl, I would say that the Turbo Changer one is obviously bigger in terms of height, but in terms of width, they're actually about the same size, including the wingspan. As you can see there really isn't much in it at all. The Turbo Changer is very similar in terms of width to the leader class version, so perhaps it would have been cool to have seen an increase in size, especially in the wingspan. I even think the leader class wings are too small compared to what we saw in the movie, and despite the fact that the leader class is more accurate, I definitely prefer the colours on the Mega Turbo Changer. Now, as stated on the back of the packaging, this figure does have lights and sounds, so just quickly demonstrating those. As you can see at the top, we do have kind of a handle thing that will click in and out when you grab it. You need to push this in and then push forwards, and the wings will rise, the head will tilt forward, and a black light will shine through the mouth section. Now, the necks of the other 2 heads also light up red to give the illusion of fire, which I think is really cool. It's definitely a very cool gimmick, and the wings do flap as well as you do it. So it is definitely a very fun gimmick to do. Just quickly demonstrating what it looks like with the lights off. As you can see, the necks of the dragon heads do light up red, and the light in the tip of the middle dragon head is fairly bright. Demonstrating the Cyberfire gimmick, I am going to be using the Turbo Changer Megatron. Now essentially what you're supposed to do here is use the black light that is in the middle head and shine it throughout the mini Turbo Changer figures. This will then reveal a hidden symbol. In this case, I think that it is a Decepticon symbol. So as you can see, just bring it in closer, you can make out that there is a Decepticon symbol on the left side of Megatron's chest plate. It is a lot clearer in person, however on my camera I can't pick it up the best. But you can kind of make out that there is a small Decepticon symbol on Megatron's chest plate. The Cyberfire gimmick I think doesn't work that well at all. I would have much preferred it if when you tilted the head down a missile shot out, maybe like a fire molded in missile. That would have looked a lot cooler. I do think that kids are going to get extremely bored with having to use other Turbo Changer figures in order to just identify whether they're Autobot or Decepticon. It's a very, very lame gimmick and definitely one that I think will die out extremely quickly. Now, as this is a Mega Turbo Changer transforming figure, it does transform in one step. So to demonstrate this, what I tend to do is pull off the towel. It does just detach on the back like so. Then you need to take the handle, push that in, and pull back really fast and hard. And there you'll have Dragonstorm in his robot mode. A fairly cool robot mode considering that this does transform in approximately one step. As you can see when you turn it around, you do have a lot of kibble on the back. You have the handle, the three heads flip, and the front paws of Dragonstorm flip. You also have the wings just hanging out on the back. However, I don't think it's too unsightly, and the robot mode is definitely very cool. Now, personally to me, this is actually better than the leader class in terms of its robot mode. Although the leader class was kind of accurate in that it splitted into two knights, I would have much preferred it if it would have just transformed into one robot like this did, as I do feel quite let down by having a leader class that actually transforms into two Voyager class figures. Anyway, the actual robot mode of this is very, very well detailed. Obviously this didn't appear in the movie unfortunately, but I think the toy that we have here is exceptionally detailed, especially for a Turbo Changer figure. One of the more simple ones. We've got all this different armor plating detailing going all the way around it, and even some on the legs. They haven't necessarily skimped out on paint at all. It's a very, very cool looking robot mode and definitely does give a very knight aesthetic. Now, he is quite stationary in this mode. The legs are not articulated, the arms are not articulated, and they're just on springs to help it transform. The only piece of articulation it has is swivels just above the elbow and ratcheted elbow joints, so quite limited. However, personally I'm just going to keep it like this in a display piece anyhow, as I do think the robot mode looks very cool. Now you can actually utilize the towel in this mode and have it as a sword. Doesn't really look like the best sword, but simply what you do is you just plug it into his hand, much like that Grimlock figure that had the towel on the back, and there you've got Dragonstorm holding his sword accessory. Now, one major advantage that this has over the Grimlock that was released for Age of Extinction is that it actually has a plethora of different phrases, and phrases that actually reference stuff in the movie. So for example, he'll talk about Quintessa, he'll address about the staff, and he'll also talk about the knights, which I think is really cool. He even says some lines from the actual movie, like Siglas Natonde. Now, just demonstrating those, you need to push the center button in the middle. You'll get his head light up with a red LED, and he will continue to talk. So just cycling through these.
We are sworn to protect. 'Tis our sacred vow. Quintessa, stand down. Justice through fire. By the will of Optimus Prime. Burn. Protect the Autobots.
And then he'll just recycle through those phrases. Now, what I found out is that when you convert him and then convert him back, he will stay a slightly different set of sounds. So just converting him back into Dragon mode. He does speak when you do transform him into the Dragon mode, and then transforming him back.
Bear witness. Protect the staff.
He now says protect the staff.
Burn. We are sworn to protect. 'Tis our sacred vow. Quintessa,
and he will say some slightly different phrases. Now, I don't necessarily believe they're on a loop. I do think it is just random as opposed to what sounds you get, which is definitely cool, and it does help to give a wide variety to the sound effects. Now here I have him displayed next to some of the mainline Premier Edition figures. We've got our Voyager class on the left, our Deluxe class in the centre, and our Leader class on the right. As you can see, he towers over all of those, which is definitely a huge advantage, as I think that the Leader class really and truly should have been this scale, as Dragonstorm in the movie was huge. For one final size comparison, here I have the Mega Turbo Changer Dragonstorm next to the One Step Changer Mega Grimlock from Age of Extinction. Now, please excuse the darkness of Grimlock. I am in the process of custom painting him. As you can see, the Grimlock is massive compared to Dragonstorm, and I definitely would have liked it if Dragonstorm could have matched Grimlock's height. However, I do understand that as time goes on, things do begin to cost a little bit more due to inflation, so therefore I think that the scaling down of Dragonstorm is definitely understandable. Overall, I highly recommend this Turbo Changer One Step Dragonstorm. It was definitely a huge surprise to me, as I don't usually tend to collect the more simplified Transformers. However, I've actually found myself liking this a tad more than I like the Leader class. I love the inclusions of light and sounds, I love the scaling of it, and I also think the colour is great. I do like that it transforms into one robot as opposed to the Leader class, which splits into two smaller robots, and I do definitely recommend this if you do collect Transformers, as it makes for an awesome display piece. I hope you enjoyed this review. Please let me know down in the comment section below if you did. Thanks for watching.